Well, hello. We in Minnesota Studies are working in our note packet that is for Unit 6. It looks like this. And we've been talking about different types of farming. It starts with busting the sod and how farmers were able to turn prairie into farmland. And then gets into railroads and people like James J. Hill, who was a person who owned a lot of businesses, but one of the things that he did was help build railroads. And not that he physically did the work, but he paid people to do it and then charged folks, mainly farmers and others, not only to travel, but to move their crops to market. And then we talk about flour, lumber, iron, with other important people along the way, like Frederick Weyerhaeuser and Charles Pillsbury, moguls that were big in the lumber industry with Weyerhaeuser. Maybe you've heard that name or seen that stamped on different lumber. In northern Minnesota, the lumberjacks had camp and things like that, they would cut trees down in the wintertime mainly because the ground is frozen. You don't have to worry about bugs. You're not getting overheated. The ground is icy and snowy, and it's easier to move things. Flour, moving wheat to market, things like that. Start talking about some pretty important people in industry there. We talk about the Kelly farm and how cooperatives were formed so that farmers could actually afford to work the land and be able to do it efficiently and sharing in the labor and such. Talk about immigration and what it takes what it took for folks from Europe and other places to become citizens. And then we have a test on Wednesday, March 4th. So a couple of quizzes along the way that give people a good flavor for what the test will be like. And then had to move hands. My arm's getting a little sore, but we just ended up, we'll talk about industry, and it ends up being a big test in the 4th. Not a huge test, and it's a test that I think kids, if they look through their notes and review things, it's not like they have to know necessarily names and dates, but some of the big things, we need to know that lumber and iron and wheat, those types of things were major industries, flour in Minnesota. Get to know that Weyerhaeuser was big in lumber. You have just going through this, it'll help a lot. Anyway, we have, like I say, some review things coming up here once we get through the note packet. We're about 75% of the way through our packet right now. And I have Google Classroom links in case anybody loses their packet or in case they want some more information or to be able to review in a different way and look at things in a different way. Hope that helps you out. Happy Wednesday, February 18th. I got to go celebrate my wife's birthday with her tonight, and then make sure that we're ready to go for the last 2 days of the week. But kids kind of came in a little wound up today. 4 days being able to kind of be away from school, they had to settle in a little bit. So let's hope that we are really focused the rest of the week. All right, that's it from the wonderful Minnesota Studies classroom. Take care.